The new GTA Online Los Santos Drug Wars update is getting so close to release, with it arriving on December 13th. Now, to be honest, from Rockstar, we haven't really had that much news, to be honest. They haven't really set out any big trailers or any big news wires, really. We've just had a couple paragraphs talking about the new update and an image. Now, that's not to say this update is bad or anything. Everything they've said sounds good, but they just haven't really shared that much, which is a bit unusual because by now we usually have a trailer and a very, very long news wire going over everything releasing in the update. But we haven't really had that this time around. We've just had, the short news wire, no trailer or anything like that. But there's still definitely some hidden details to go through, and in today's video we're going to go through all the hidden details in the Los Santos Drug Wars GTA Online update. But just before we do get into all of that, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. Are you interested in starting your own gaming channel on YouTube, but simply don't know where to start? Well, I've got just the thing for you. By using the link in the description and the pinned comment, you can get access to a 50-minute free training session with a YouTube expert. And believe it or not, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about someone who has monetized many YouTube channels, one of them even being this channel right here, which I then took over. Some of the other channels he's monetized includes Joas97, Foot Fanatic, and OpenVision. And of course, he's helped other gamers monetize their own YouTube channels. He's even been helping me monetize my very own YouTube channel from scratch, and the first video I uploaded got over 30,000 views in about a month, which is insane. So the man behind all this is Jamie. Jamie is an expert when it comes to helping YouTube channels grow and improving your skills as a content creator. So I really can comfortably say that if you work with Jamie, the quality of your videos will improve drastically, and that really just is the case. So if you are interested in starting your own gaming YouTube channel, or even if you're not, then you might as well go to the link in the description. It really is just a gift. You get 50 minutes with a YouTube expert for completely free. So go down into the description or the pinned comment and check it out. So since the Rockstar newswire about this update is really short, we're just going to read through that quickly now. Starting December 13th, Los Santos Drug Wars injects a new psychoactive strain of chaos into Grand Theft Auto Online on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. So there you go. It will be releasing on every platform. That was expected. Of course, there will be some exclusive content on next gen, no doubt, but you will be able to experience the proper update on all platforms. Head straight to Blaine County and join up with Old Pal Nervous Ron and a new band of out-of-state misfits on a mission to put their stamp on the Los Santos psychedelics trade, fight off an unlikely coalition of wealthy hippies and trigger-happy bikers while cooking up potent hallucinogenics in elaborate labs or out of your own massive rolling chemistry set in the opening chapter of an expansive new two-part story update for GTA Online. Los Santos Drug Wars contains a range of wild side effects, including a new business enterprise to operate, new vehicles and missions, and experiential upgrades. And this is just the first dose. Be prepared for lots more exciting events, including some jolly holiday hijinks, significant story and gameplay updates, and much more to come. So there you go. That is everything we have on the official newswire dedicated about this update. And yeah, as you can see, there's not really much there. But there are a few things that won't necessarily catch your attention. First of all, this is actually a two-part update. So on December 13th, we're not really getting that much, to be honest. By the sounds of it, we're just going to get some missions and obviously some new vehicles and stuff like that. But other than that, there's not going to be loads to it. And I think there is going to be so much drip-fed content with this update. And to be honest, I think most of the content will be drip-fed and a lot of it won't be arriving on day one. So I would assume that there's going to be a second date that Rockstar will reveal later down the line where we do get the second part of the story. So this could be a couple months or just a couple weeks after this update does release on December 13th. We really don't know. It depends how much content we get on the day. So it's hard to know when we'll get the second part, since we don't really know how big this update will be on December 13th. But it is worth noting that, to be honest, on the day we might not get that much, and a lot of it will just be drip-fed content that will arrive slowly each week. Now, we have seen this before with previous updates with stuff like vehicles and some small missions, but generally speaking, we haven't ever had it where half of the update has been released later down the line, so it'll be interesting to see how that does work. Now, in a separate Rockstar newswire, Rockstar mentioned something else, and that was world events. And to be honest, they haven't really said much about this at all, other than the fact that there will be world events and more arriving with this update, so we don't really know what that means, to be honest. These world events could be anything from maybe free roam events. We've seen this in, I'm just going to say Red Dead Online, because that's a game I've played, where you get invited to a free roam event where everyone in Red Dead Online gets invited to that and they can join it, and everyone will be in separate lobbies, obviously, but there's a free roam event at certain times. It's possible it'll work like that in GTA Online. I'm really not sure, and we don't really have any info on this at all other than world events, or this could be some more sort of events within the game, like business battles that we have at the moment. It could be something like that, and they're just wording it differently. At the moment, we don't really know, but yeah, they've mentioned world events, so yeah, you can take that as you want, really. Something else that is a bit hidden that arrives with this update is there's actually some graphical improvements, and this is on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now, Rockstar said this: PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X will add ray-traced reflections, rendering real-time reflections on many surfaces via the fidelity mode graphics setting. Now, we do actually see this in action. The first screenshot that Rockstar ever revealed of this update does show the reflection of the car in the puddle below it. Honestly, before Rockstar announced this, I sort of assumed that these reflections were already a thing. I hadn't really noticed that they weren't. But now looking at this image, I can sort of tell, damn, there's actually a pretty big difference there. You're getting a full-on reflection of the entire vehicle below you. And personally, I think it's actually really cool that we're going to get this, and I think it will make a big difference to how the game looks, especially on those next-gen consoles. Well, obviously, especially only on those next-gen consoles, since that's the only place where you'll be able to get this. Now, unfortunately, you'll have to sacrifice the 60 frames per second to be able to use this feature, so I do think a lot of players won't end up using it that much. Obviously, you should definitely check it out, but you will have to enable the fidelity graphics option, which does cap the frame rates at 30 FPS. But if you're on a 4K TV, then you might be playing on that anyway, so you can take advantage of the higher resolutions. So yeah, it really depends what you prefer, whether you prefer the better visuals or you would prefer 60 frames per second. But in my opinion, this is a new feature that hasn't really got as much attention as it should have. I think this is actually a pretty big improvement from Rockstar, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works. Now, in a previous video of mine, a link to that video can be found in the description, by the way, I mentioned, or I went over, a leak from TezFunds2, a very reliable person within the GTA 5 community who's pretty much always got things right, and he's very consistent with it. Now, he actually showed us that with this update, you will be able to have a fast travel taxi service. Now, we don't really know anything other than this is just a fast travel taxi service, where I assume you'll be able to fast travel around the map like we see in many games now. And it's something we haven't really had in GTA 5. We had it with the Kazaka, where you could sort of fast travel to different locations around the map, but generally speaking, it wasn't very useful since it was only in the ocean, so there wasn't really much point in using it. It wouldn't get you anywhere that quicker. But now we will have a proper fast travel service, or by the sounds of it, although this hasn't really been confirmed by Rockstar, it's only been in the leak, but everything else within that leak has actually been confirmed, so I have no doubt that this will arrive too. It's just they haven't mentioned it in any of their newswires, and they don't mention everything in their newswires, so yeah, I have no doubt this will arrive. Now, the reason I have brought this up again is because in one of the Rockstar newswires about this update, we actually see a new type of taxi. On screen now, you can see this vehicle, and this is a completely different type of taxi vehicle. This is still downtown Cab Co, but this is a different vehicle. Usually they look a lot different to this, and it's interesting this is here since the leak for the fast travel taxi service had been mentioned, and I can only think that these two link together. I assume that this will sort of tie into the fast travel features. Now, obviously, Rockstar haven't really mentioned this fast travel at all, but it has been mentioned by TezFunds2, and I find it interesting that there's also a new taxi vehicle shown in this image, and I think these two definitely link together in some way. Maybe this fast travel will be unlocked through the new missions, but to be honest, we don't really know how this is going to work, and all we do know, though, is that there is a new taxi vehicle, and yeah, I think this is linked to that fast travel. So, finally, Rockstar have confirmed that there will be loads of new improvements coming to GTA Online. This was something that we saw with the Criminal Enterprises update, such as the nerf to the Oppressor Mark II, and this went down really well with players. Players loved that they were actually focusing on improvements a lot more than the actual content. Obviously, we still want loads of content, and that's always loved by players, but it's nice that we get a lot of improvements too. And Rockstar have said that they're actually taking these improvements from the GTA Online feedback website. This is where you can actually give feedback on the game, and sometimes Rockstar will actually read this feedback, and in some cases they'll even implement it into a future update, and this is what they're doing here with some of the feedback that they were given. And this will be for free mode and beyond, so yeah, maybe races or something like that, and general heists. There will be loads of improvements, and we don't really know much about these yet, but I'll go through a few of the important ones now. You can now take on the casino story missions as a solo instead of having to do them with at least 2 other players, which was the previous requirement. And now new vehicles that are purchased will arrive in your garage faster than before. So usually before, when you purchase a vehicle, you'd have to wait a good few minutes before you could actually use it, but now that will no longer be the case. And something really cool, I think, is that bicycles will now be added to the list of vehicles that can be requested from your personal garage when calling the mechanic. Before, if you wanted to use a bicycle, you'd have to go actually into one of your garages, and then you'd have to exit the garage with the bicycle, and you'd have to take it to wherever you wanted to go with it on the map, which could have been the other side of the map. A lot of people wanted to take it down Manchiliad, and to do that, you'd have to actually cycle all the way across the map to be able to use it if you had it in a certain garage. So now you'll be able to call it in from anywhere, providing your mechanic can reach you, which is really, really useful. And that's just a few of the improvements coming with this update. There's going to be loads and loads more, and I didn't list all of them either, since that would have just taken too long, but there are loads of great improvements, and yeah, it's really cool that we're getting that. So that does just about wrap up things here. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.